Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today I'm going to tell you which Commanders rumors you should buy, sell, or hold stock in here. I got producer Cully, Commander Cully, that's going to be giving me some scenarios here, and I'm going to tell you whether to buy, sell, or hold on that particular scenario. So if you're ready to raise hail, talking about hail to the Commanders there, type raise hail down there in the comment section if you are excited for this next era of Commanders football. We have a new owner, have a new GM, have a new head coach, have a new franchise quarterback. Everything is new with this franchise, and it feels super hopeful and optimistic for the future. So if you're ready to rock, type raise hail down there in the comment section to let me know. All right, producer Coley, what you got for me here?
All right, buy, sell, or hold. The Commanders' defense will be at least top 15 this year. Buy, sell, or hold, Mr. Sperry.
So that's about league average. So above league average. I love Dan Quinn, man. I think he's a defensive genius. I'm going to say hold on this, though. All right, I think in future years, give it another year, definitely going to be in the top 15. All right, but, this certain style of offense, or defense, I should say, did it really work? Or can it work outside of a system that doesn't include Micah Parsons? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Frankie Luvu, Jamin Davis, Bobby Wagner kind of fill that blitzing linebacker type role that they have in this system. And I think that they're going to try to get Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Johnny Newton on the field at the same time, kind of using Johnny Newton as a 3-4 defensive end type. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say hold for this because I think the secondary, particularly on the outside cornerback position, it's rough. All right, Emmanuel Forbes, super skinny player, can't really hold up against bigger wide receivers. And until he adds weight, he's never going to be able to do that, unfortunately. Then you get Michael Davis and Benjamin St-Juste, and those guys are kind of like replacement-level starters, in my opinion. They're not anything special, and, I just don't know if they have anybody that can line up with some of the best true number one receivers in the game, like the A.J. Browns of the world and all these top receivers, CeeDee Lamb, all these guys that line up on the outside. I'm not sure if the Commanders have somebody that can keep up with them one-on-one, and that's going to limit what they can do on defense this year. So I think that this defense will punch above its weight, but I'm not sure if they're going to be quite top 15 this year.
All righty. Buy, sell, or hold. Our man, Johnny Newton, will win Defensive Rookie of the Year. What say you, Mr. Sperry?
I'm going to have to say sell on this one, Cully. I love Johnny. I think he's going to be a great player for this defense for a long time. But, he's dealing with that foot surgery. He had 2 separate foot surgeries this offseason. Okay, so who knows how he's going to come off of that. And also, we still don't fully know if he's going to be ready to go for the start of the season. So, if he's missing games at the start of the year, it's going to be really tough for him to really get back in that Defensive Rookie of the Year race. So I'm looking for flashes. I'm looking for production towards the end of the season. I'm looking for disruption on tape from him. I'm not necessarily looking for hardware when it comes to Johnny Newton here in 2024. So let me know down there in the comments section, what say you? What is the percent chance that Johnny Newton wins Defensive Rookie of the Year this year? Put it on a scale of 0 to 100 for me down there in the comments section. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by putting it on a scale of 0 to 100.
All righty. Jonathan Allen, man, the myth, the legend. Will he still be with the Commanders in the year of 2025?
Ooh, so Jonathan is actually in the middle of a bunch of trade rumors for this offseason. So the question is, he's got 2 years left on his contract. Does he make it to the 2025 season and still, he's still on the Commanders? I think that he will. I'm going to say buy with caution here, okay? Because obviously Jonathan could always demand a trade, right? If the Commanders have another tough start to their season or whatever, he might at the trade deadline say, get me out of here, trade me somewhere else. That's certainly a possibility. But I think that he's really excited. And when you listen to him talk in press conferences, he's really excited about this new coaching staff, this new defense, the plan that they have in place for it. And I think he's going to be a very crucial part in a pass rush, which is going to really surprise some people this year, in my opinion. So I think he's going to want to stay, and I think he'll be here with the Commanders even next season. So coming up here on the Commanders Report, we got more scenarios. Producer Coley has more scenarios to run with me here today with you guys. But before we get into the rest of today's segment, go ahead and go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today and use our code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. And PrizePicks has specials for new and returning users alike for the NBA Finals. Again, when you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today. And the NBA Finals mean more on PrizePicks, and so do the star players. You get boosted payouts on select basketball stars that you won't find anywhere else. And PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. You can see my PrizePicks projection here for the final for the fifth game of the Western Conference Finals here. I got the less on the three-pointers made for Luka. I took the more on Jaden Daniels for three-pointers made, and I took the more on points for Karl Anthony Towns, currently set at 19.5. PrizePicks is super simple to play, folks. All you have to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and then watch the winnings roll in if you can get all of them right. Get started now if you haven't already at prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today. Get a first-time deposit match up to $100 when you use our code CLNS. With PrizePicks, you can pick more or you can pick less. It is that easy.
Alrighty. Ben Sinnott will be good immediately in the NFL.
So, if you know anything about the tight end position, not everybody is a Sam Laporta, right, where they're just good immediately. So I'm going to say sell here. And, this concerns me a little bit, at least for this season, because you have Zach Ertz, who's pretty much a carcass at this point in his career. Super slow. He's not going to be much of an impact, in my opinion. I think he's going to be more of a mentor for Sinnott. And hopefully 2-3 years down the line, Sinnott with his short burst ability, the quickness that he brings to the table at his size, that's going to allow him to be a true safety blanket for Jaden Daniels. So I'll say sell on the rookie year kind of sensation type thing. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 years because he is somebody that does need a little bit of development. But I think he has a good chance of eventually getting there, and especially with a guy like Zach Ertz mentoring him and kind of teaching him the ropes of the NFL, I think he'll eventually get there, probably just not in his rookie season. So make sure you guys like the video right now if you haven't already. If you are a Commanders Report Real one, you've clicked that subscribe button and all these different things. You support our channel. You watch our videos to the end every single time. Really do appreciate all of your support. So if you're a real one, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. All right, next one, Cully.
The Commanders will win a playoff game within the next 2 years. They're due, right?
Within the next 2 years. So I don't think they will win one this year. I'm not particularly confident they'll make the playoffs this year. I think this will be more of a developmental year for this roster and for this team. But you know what? I'll say hold on this, because I think in year 2 of the Dan Quinn era here, things could get really good for this team very quickly, especially if Jaden Daniels continues to develop in year 2, especially if this offensive line gets better next offseason and they're able to, or Brandon Coleman comes out of nowhere and he's awesome, right? There's certainly ways in which this team can get to the playoffs and win a playoff game within the next 2 years. Don't think it'll be this year, but watch out for year 2.
All right. De'Ami Brown, great last name, by the way, will be cut by the team this year. You think that'll happen? Cut
by the team. I don't think he will be cut. I'm going to say sell on this one because I look at Cliff Kingsbury's offense and, you got all the spread formations, 4 receivers on the field at one time, all this stuff he loves to run. It just seems like I don't know if De'Ami Brown is bad enough to really get rid of. I think that he's arguably the number 3 receiver on this football team right now. Why would you get rid of him? Why would you give up a player like that, especially somebody that, has a good skill set of getting open down the field? I think he's been kind of, let's say, cucked, by, bad quarterback play and poor offensive play calling. And, Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson are ahead of him in the progressions and everything. So I think, this poor offensive play has kind of screwed him a bit. But now he's paired with a guy in Jaden Daniels where I think can effectively get him the football. And I'm excited to see what De'Ami Brown can do this year in Cliff Kingsbury's offense.
All right, last one. Frankie Luvu leads the team in sacks this year. Buy, sell, or hold.
Wouldn't surprise me here, Cully. It really wouldn't. I'm going to say buy with caution here because there's a bunch of guys, in my opinion, that could lead the team in sacks. Could be Jamin Davis. It could be Bobby Wagner. It kind of depends on who they use as that hybrid linebacker more often. I think it's going to be Luvu the most, but then also you got the two guys in the middle, right? You got Jonathan Allen and you got Daron Payne. Both are super, instinctual and great pass rushers in their own right. You got the young stud in Johnny Newton, where if you watch his film, all he does is win on tape, and he's super disruptive. Dorrance Armstrong was super productive in Dallas's system when he was playing there. So I think that there's a lot of people that could lead the team in sacks. I think this pass rush is going to be better than expected. But I think Frankie Luvu, is one of the best blitzing linebackers in the game today. He's awesome in that regard, and I think that's why he's going to be used as that hybrid blitzing linebacker in this scheme here. And I think he's going to get a lot of production this year, and I think that there's a very good chance that he could lead the team in sacks here in 2024. That'll be it for today's Buy, Sell, or Hold segment here. If you made it to the end, I really do appreciate your support. If you're a real one, you made it to the end, go ahead and type real one down there in the comment section in all caps to let me know that you made it to the end of today's show. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really do appreciate your support. And until next time, folks, hail to the Commanders.